Hey Flowbot, this is the Progressive mobile app. It makes getting a quote from your phone easy. It is the coolest piece of technology around here.
Bye.
Oops. Sorry.
Now that's Progressive.
Progressive might be touting its technology savvy in its ads, but didn't quite work out that way over the past week when it came to a court case involving an auto claim. David Benoit of The Journal is here to tell us about the social media spanking that Progressive just got. Flo's not happy with this.
Yeah.
You know what, Dave? This is a sort of complicated case. Yeah. So why don't you just first encapsulate for us what exactly happened here?
Right. So essentially, I mean, there's a tragedy here. A woman was killed who was insured by Progressive in a car accident. There was a case in which her family was suing the other driver over fault.
Right.
And Progressive had come to the side, their lawyers were on the other driver's side in the court case, essentially, arguing that this woman, their client, was at fault in the accident, which had been written in a police report at one point. A jury, however, decided with the family and forced Progressive and this other driver to pay the family for the death.
Okay, so what happened next from there?
So the controversy started when this woman's brother, Matt Fisher, wrote a blog post.
Which we have up on screen there.
Discussing how Progressive and their attorneys were with the other driver.
Right. And as the blog post points out there, my sister paid Progressive insurance to defend her killer in court.
Right.
That is pretty stunning stuff.
Right. That is certainly...
So this was a blog post. He vented. What happened next?
So it pretty much went viral. Lots of people picked up on it. About 1,000 people claimed on Twitter they were going to drop Progressive from their coverage. They weren't going to pay them anymore. And really, it's a pretty black eye for Progressive.
So how did the company respond?
The company says, listen, we were doing what we thought, we had no evidence to say otherwise. It's in our right to kind of say we're not going to pay a claim if we don't have to pay it. The claim at issue is they would only have to pay if the driver wasn't at fault.
I guess the big difference here is there's what happens in the court of law, and then there's what happens in the court of public opinion.
Right.
And as Progressive found out, in the Twitter sphere, in the blogosphere, the court of public opinion is moving really fast now and can have huge reputational impacts.
Yeah, this is like a kind of a big thing that we haven't really seen something like this happen. I mean, I don't think insurers have the best reputation in the court of public opinion anyway. But this
Geico Gecko might be all cute, but people still aren't
and
in
even
love with
Flo,
them.
I mean, I think Flo has her own Twitter account. They're out there in Twitter and in the social media, but I think this shows that companies have to be better at explaining themselves and explaining what they do out there in social media. They're just kind of getting broadsided, and it happens a lot. We see this with banks all the time. People claim they're dropping banks. There was that day last year when people were
saying they would drop Bank of America.
Right.
So what can companies do in the face of something like this?
I mean, I think in a lot of ways, Progressive just doesn't sound like they did a very good job of explaining what their role is. And I don't think they're ever going to have an easy time saying, well, listen, we don't want to pay $100,000 to a dead woman's family.
Right.
It's just not.
It's just a bad position to be in.
I would not go into the insurance business.
But I guess maybe one flip side for companies, as more and more people decide I'm going to tweet my experience with a company, could it potentially eventually reach a point where so many people are doing it that it doesn't become as much of an issue?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably true. Another good, I think, example from the banks is that they all have help accounts set up on Twitter that actually filter through and find anytime anyone mentions
companies are realizing they have to engage with Twitter.
Yes. Yeah, and I think they're getting better at it, but I think this case shows that there's still a lot.
Right. Well, this case, I guess, shows that there's still a lot to learn, and that we're in early days. And companies are learning, consumers are learning. It's a new form of dialogue between both.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
David Benoit, fascinating story. Thanks very much.